Hello and welcome back to Popcorn Chat. I hope you guys are doing well. In this video I'm going to be talking about the film Titane, or Titane, however you choose to pronounce it, which I was able to see at the London Film Festival, and I have to say it was one of my favourite watches. So let's get into the video. So written and directed by Giulia Di Corno, we meet Alexia, who is involved in a car crash when she's a child, within the first 3 minutes of the film, leading Alexia to have this sort of titanium plate within their head, hence the title of the film. We jump to an adult Alexia, who is an exotic dancer, living from paycheck to paycheck. Then we are introduced to the character Vincent, who is a dad, and their child has been missing for some few years, and at some point in the film, these two characters' plots cross. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail as to what the film is about, as I want you to experience it in the way that I did, which was knowing nothing going into it. And I think already that is quite a generous bit of knowledge that I didn't know prior. So I'm going to leave it there, and I think let's talk about some of the positives and negatives of this film in a bit more of a general kind of way. So before going any further into the video, I do want to let you know there will be some sort of loose spoilers, mainly around character progression rather than plot points. So there'll be a bit more spoilers than your sort of standard spoiler-free video, but I will not be going to those sort of more bigger parts that I want you to experience for the first time when you go and see this film. So let's talk about some of the positives. So I knew nothing going into this film except for that I'd seen the poster, and I'm glad that was the way. I didn't even know that this was a French film. I saw the poster and thought, okay, a few people have been talking about this online, no idea about it, didn't want to look into it, didn't look at the trailers. And then I saw it was on at the festival and I thought, yeah, I'm going to go and check that one out. And my God, I was in for an experience. In those first 10 minutes of the film, I was hooked. I was just so flabbergasted at what I was seeing. I just sat there like just going, oh my God. Well, very quietly, but for like 10 minutes, I couldn't believe what I was seeing on screen. Those first 10 minutes set you up for this sort of very much horror, violent, very sexual sort of film. And ultimately the film does develop into something much more intelligent. But those first 10 minutes, I wasn't expecting that. Not that I had any sort of, expectations going in quite blind. I was just like, okay, we're going in for this. We're going for a proper sort of 18 rated film. So I think that really sort of set the pace for the rest of the film. The performances throughout the film were brilliant from the whole cast, whether it was the lead actress or, the supporting characters. Everyone played a significant role. So like I said, going into this film I knew nothing, so I didn't know it was French, and regardless of that, I think the performances are so heavily focused on body language, facial expressions. There's the odd subtitle, but generally I'd say this is a non-verbal film. There's so much you can just read in between the lines, and that's what I love. It's that sort of old classic technique, show, don't tell. And that film is a perfect example of this. This film had my attention throughout. I didn't check my watch, I didn't want this to be over. I really, really enjoyed the experience, and I just wanted to enjoy every minute that this film had to offer. With Di Corno being a writer-director, I think this really helped sort of tell the story in a whole process. Not only is she able to create visually stunning cinematic storytelling, but she's also able to create those sort of story beats that allow you to have character progression. Even though this character, you're not sure if you like them or not, are they a good person? We're not necessarily sure, but because those layers and the development and the arc they go on throughout the journey of the film, and what I think Di Corno is able to do here is create something that, like I said previously, whether they're speaking or not, they're able to get brilliant performances out of their actors, as well as creating this sort of beautiful story that could be set anytime, anywhere, any setting, and it would still be the same story. And that's what I think is excellent, and I think will make this film timeless. Titane has to be one of the most shocking films that I've seen to date. I think it's so gory. I think it puts Quentin Tarantino to shame, and many of the directors. I think it's used in an effective way that's it's dark humour. Like, people were just laughing, I think maybe more at shock. There were moments that were wholesome, there were moments that were really dark and emotional and made you feel awkward. So you have every emotion within this film, and I think that's why I keep reflecting upon it and how much I quote unquote enjoyed this film, if you can say that. I did enjoy this film because it was just, it had all the elements. It had the writing, it had the direction, it had performances. I think it was excellent, and yeah, it's a lot of positives on this film for me. So let's talk about some of the negatives. I don't think there are many with this film. However, there's one point where I wished that one of the characters did something towards the end of the film that would have helped a little bit further in terms of their character progression and their relationship with another character. That's all I want to say right now without spoiling it. There's just a moment where I wanted them to do a little bit more. So if you couldn't tell already, I really, really love this film. I think you should go and see this film in the cinema. It needs to be seen in the cinema. It needs to be seen with an audience that's never seen it. And I would like to also go and watch it again with some people. It's one of those films I just keep recommending to people. Very much like The Lighthouse, you need to go and see this film. But I would love to go and watch people's reactions at certain moments when the film's happening and just sort of turn back and like, okay, how are you enjoying that? So yeah, I highly encourage everyone to see this in the cinema rather than watching it on demand or at home. This has to be seen with an audience. This is a very good film, and I think I'm going to give it one of the highest ratings I've given on the channel. So I'm going to give this film 4.5 stars out of 5. So I hope you guys enjoyed my review of Titane. If you haven't seen it already, hopefully it hasn't given too much away. But if you do go and see it, please let me know your thoughts. Maybe message me on social media as opposed to the comments, as we don't want to get too many sort of spoilers going in here. Or if you've seen the film already, let me know your thoughts and we can discuss some very sort of pivotal moments within the film. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you very soon in another Popcorn Chat.